So in the last video, we talked about the difference between burnout and overwhelm. If you realize you're overwhelmed and not burned out, this is the exact video I need you to see. Stick around. Popular belief, overwhelm doesn't mean failing. It means your system needs support. And here's the reframe we're going to start this off with. Overwhelm isn't an emotional problem. It's an architectural problem. In other words, the structure around you needs reinforcement. And we're going to talk about that reinforcement today. Today isn't about fixing your whole life. It's about stabilizing your capacity so that you can think clearly once again. Support isn't self-care as we know it. This conversation is structure. And there's a simple framework that helps here. I can attest it works. 3 beats. Keep it simple. Think externalize, reduce, sequence. We'll take this one piece at a time. We know overwhelm lives in your head. You're overthinking, it's keeping you up at night, it's just looping and looping with no end. So support starts when we can move those things outside of your mind, where you can actually see them. The point is we're making room for clearer thinking. And there's definitely wisdom in unloading your mind before making major decisions. One of the simplest things you can do today is to simply write everything down. Use one system of capture, notebook, phone, etc. And one place, not 5 scattered lists. We're not organizing anything yet. We're just getting it out. That's the mission. Unload the mind. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. I know you're moms. I know you're working people, wives, career women. You don't have time to just put off everything, but we can do it temporarily. Support sometimes means fewer lanes, not necessarily better driving. You don't need to do everything better. You just need to do everything less for right now. That can look like pausing one commitment that you have made recently, saying, not this week, maybe next week. Or it can look like reducing decisions temporarily. This is not about quitting. This is not about stopping your life. It's permission to pause. There's a difference. We're going to sequence, not prioritize. So when everything feels urgent, prioritizing doesn't support us very well. However, sequencing can help you because sequencing removes that responsibility of choice. And choice is what exhausts you when you're already overwhelmed. You see the loop there? So here's what sequencing might look like. Taking one next step. That's it. Taking the very next step of whatever it is you're involved in. It might look like linear or vertical movement. Do this, then that. And it will also definitely look like no multitasking. Save that for a different day, a different season. In this moment, you're not deciding what matters most. You're deciding what comes next. This is practical. This is calming. Everything we need right now. And with that, we need to start thinking about boundaries that support us. And we've talked about this before. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about protecting your bandwidth so that you can actually show up and think and operate. It's not about them, it's about us. In this state of overwhelm or the next time you feel this way, I want you to think about these 3 kinds of boundaries. Time boundaries, which encompass when you're available and when you're not. 2, your energy boundaries. This will involve what drains you and then what needs limits. You need to know those things. Don't say yes to everything. This is not the moment for the yes trap. Then thirdly, decision boundaries. What you'll decide for now, that next step, and then what you can put off, what can wait, what can be delegated even. These supportive boundaries help reduce the overwhelm before it even starts. So this is preventative. Most overwhelming situations are borrowed. What is the word? We own them like they were supposed to be ours. We guard over them like they were our children. It's not ours. We're going to let it go. And we're going to let it go by asking for help. Because most overwhelmed women don't need more discipline. That's not the structure we're talking about. You need to stop doing everything alone. But before you worry, here's some ways to ask for help in a way that actually works for you. Ask for something specific. Not, can you help me? But can you pick up the kids on Tuesday? Can you bring the supplies to the shop tomorrow? And you can keep it short term. You're not trying to create a permanent dependency here. Do you mind this week if you take over the order intakes? Okay, thanks. No over explaining. You don't owe anyone your entire backstory. We're not talking about context for your short term request, but you don't need to go into all of your business. Remember, we don't do that. If overwhelm feels constant, debilitating, panic, maybe depression, or any physical symptoms that don't let up, you try the other supports, but these continue. In this case, support can also mean professional care. So we're talking about therapy, medical attention. And these are not weaknesses. This is the wisdom that you need to identify where you are not in alignment, where you need assistance, where you need to ask for help, when you are okay, when you're not. Bottom line, asking for help is a strategy, not a confession. It means you're a human, and even the most capable people were never meant to do everything alone. Humans were designed for support and interdependence, plain and simple. We're not meant to go through this life alone. Okay, so this part is going to help protect you from self-sabotage. When you're overwhelmed, I need you to avoid major life decisions. It is not the moment. It is not the time. Don't quit your job. Don't move across country. Don't blow up your relationships. Avoid identity level conclusions. Identity. So, I'm terrible at this. I just can't get this to work. I can't handle anything. This is not the moment to make those types of judgments on your capabilities, on your capacity. Productivity overhauls. Avoid them. It's not the moment for a whole redesign of your entire ecosystem. You're not in that space, and you need to acknowledge that. It's okay. It's just not that moment. Or an easy way to put it, overwhelm distorts perspective. What's temporary seems so permanent. It makes hard things feel impossible. So delaying some things might actually turn out to be one of the wisest decisions that you make during this time period or during this season in your life. Here's where we are. If support helped, that's your answer. You were overwhelmed, and you leave it at that, and you address that. The burnout versus overwhelm video, I have it linked below. The video is also included in this playlist here. Remember, stabilize first, then decide. God willing, I'll see you in the next video.